So I'm going to be using my Lamy Fountain Pen for this drawing, and the purpose of the drawing is for a traceable for my watercolor website for a demonstration, possibly even oil painting. So I sometimes use my digital tablet to just trace around the image, but I think by doing it freehand, it's good practice, and you do end up with a slightly looser drawing. So I'm just drawing really just basic shapes, simplifying that. Also when I trace, I tend to just go around everything and it's just a bit rigid, and I perhaps even put in more detail than actually is required. So things will not be as accurate drawing it freehand, but probably close enough. A tree there, and I must remind myself when I'm doing this drawing to perhaps leave things out that don't need to be in. So perhaps, putting windows there, a bit over the top maybe. Another tree there. The little things like that where it's swooped up there, that's quite nice. So that doesn't happen when you're necessarily tracing. So if you're using this as a traceable to do your watercolor, which is what it's designed for, just try and keep your pen lines or pencil lines nice and loose. And that building there. So I took this photo. This is a village called Crevant, and the butcher's is just here. So building there, and there's a bush there, acts as a nice little stop, and there's a car there, which I think I shall just put that one that way, and maybe we'll have a side on one over here. And windows, really it's probably a better idea to draw the big shapes first before I put the little bits of detail in, but I haven't done much drawing recently, so not as much as I should be. So getting back into doing things properly, but that will work okay for the watercolor. Wall there, and there's a nice little spot there for person, an area for the eye to rest here. And I don't want to make the drawing too complex because the videos I make are also for beginners, so I don't want to overwhelm. Chimney pot there. So this is where the mistake would be to draw all the detail here. If we look on the reference image here, it's very complex, and although it looks fine in the photo, it'd be very difficult to make that look good in watercolor. So just leave it like that, keep it simple. That's fine, and that's what it's called editing the scene. Again, I can edit this as well, make this simpler as well. So there's a little window there. And I don't mind if things aren't perfectly straight. That's the other thing, if I trace it, it will be perfect, the perspective and so on. So it depends on the finish you're going for. Obviously on the membership, I'll give the traceable as an option and the photo. So if you want something that's perfect, use the photo and trace it on. But if you want something that's perhaps a little bit more painterly, should we say, the freehand drawing, and obviously have a go at drawing freehand yourself. But I understand we've got a few members who are not really interested in drawing, they just want to be painting, which is absolutely fine, whatever you want to do. So do we want two windows here? It's actually quite nice. There's actually another little window here that's different. Sometimes when you've got two shapes the same, they can end up competing, and that can cause problems. So there, again, I can just perhaps bring that down there, keep that simple. Maybe just put a little window in there instead. that pylon is quite nice. Not nice to look at in real life, but from a painting point of view, they look great. And we've got a lantern coming off of there. So I think we don't need those bollards, we can leave those out. And I'm going to simplify this. So I've actually left out part of the building here, which, you know, the person who lives in this house probably wouldn't be that happy, but it's not a commission. I'll actually use the fountain pen here to make those windows darker, and then we've got the doorway there. I quite like the fountain pen to draw, and also it will make it easier to photograph for the traceable. That sometimes the pencil lines don't really show up particularly well. So, and drain pipe there. I don't think I'll draw the rose bushes or whatever's growing up there, or maybe we would. Maybe put a rose bush here. So we'll just transport the one that's there and put it there. And maybe just a few little tufts of grass in there. And there isn't any road markings, but I'm going to put those in. And we've got a car here, but I think I'll leave that out. We've got the one car there. What I could do, I think we'll just have the one car, quiet morning. We'll have another figure there. We'll use the doorway and the height of that figure there as a guide. Got a hat on maybe. Just left the house. He's just popping over to the shops on the other side. Give him a friend coming the other way. And crossing over at racing. Who's going to get to the shop first, because there's a bit of a queue. And a couple of birds in the sky. So I think that's enough for the drawing. Keep it simple. Maybe we'll have an aerial there. So I shall now trace that onto some watercolor paper. This is just on a very cheap sketchbook. It's bamboo paper. Nothing special, but it seems to draw quite nicely on there. I might have a go at just putting some watercolor on there as a pen and wash maybe, but I'll do that later. So that was just a quick little sketch, and if you want to see a full demonstration on how I would paint something like this in watercolour, that's on my other channel, Loose Watercolours Robert Me. It will eventually be on YouTube, but that might not be for a few months because it'll be on my membership side first. So you can join Tier 2 of the website if you want to watch it sooner rather than later. Yeah, thanks for watching, hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.